Hey guys, it's Erica and welcome back to my channel. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure to go ahead and do that and help us reach 10,000 subscribers by my birthday, May 6th. I hope it happens, but I don't really know right now, but I hope it happens. So I am rocking my X-Ray Straight Outta Compton t-shirt today because we're going to be doing an education Q&A over X-ray and ultrasound. So I just want to give a big shout out to Queen Kesley, I think is her name. She sent me a dozen questions, so thank you, girl, for sending all those questions. I'm going to answer all of those, and thank you to everybody else who asked questions down below my video before last. So I'm just going to go ahead and hop right into it because I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, so not all of these questions are coming from my education Q&A video. A lot of people have asked me questions after the fact on different videos, so I decided to just combine all of these questions and go ahead and ask them in this one. So the first two questions are coming from my X-ray tech video. We have Jeff McLeroy, and he says, I am not, repeat, not good at math. Should I avoid this job? And he's talking about the job of an X-ray tech. So the only math that I had to take was college algebra. Once you get into the program, to me, it's not really about math, it's about memory. So if you're able to remember a formula and just plug in the numbers and get the answer, then you're able to do it. Like, that's all you have to do. Once you get into the field of rad tech, it's really about eyeballing your patient and guesstimating how much radiation they should get based on their size, and that will come second nature. So we have Mason Stone. Before starting X-ray tech school, do you need general education completion from a college, or is it possible to go straight into rad tech? So I think this is just dependent on the school that you go to, because for my school and for a lot of programs that I know about, there are certain education requirements that you have to take. I'll put a card to all of my education videos so you guys can check it out. A good one to watch is my rad tech experience video. It shows you all the general education courses I had to take, from computers to anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 to medical terminology and music appreciation or humanities. These are things that are required no matter which major that you chose, and then you could go into your major. So for my school, yes, I had to take general education courses first. I couldn't just jump into rad tech, but it might be all together for another school. I'm not sure. Okay, we have Eunice Nomel, and she asked me two questions. The first one being, did you earn a scholarship to go to college? If so, may I know how much? So no, I did not earn a scholarship to go to college. I was a part of the WIOA program, and that gave me $5 a day and then $5 a day per child under a certain age or under school age. So Kaiden got that. So I got $10 a day, and every 2 weeks they give me like $100 or $150, and that was supposed to pay for gas and things like that. They also paid for my registry exam and anything that I needed concerning school. So that was kind of like a scholarship type of program. I also got the HOPE grant, which you can get, I think, if you just graduate from a HOPE high school, I guess. Now, I did have the WIOA scholarship or grant again when I was in ultrasound school. This time it paid $7,500 towards my tuition. She also said, may I know how many years does it take to become a radiologic technologist? And what school did you attend? And do I know any good schools which study the field? I'm not very certain about schools, but I know that all technical schools usually have this program. I'm not going to give you mine, of course, for safety reasons. I live like 15 minutes from the school, so I'm not going to tell you that. You also asked how many years does it take? It took me 2 years to become a radiologic technologist, but it is decreasing every single year because our program, the program before mine, was six semesters. 6 semesters. My program was 5, and the program that is going on right now that is about to graduate was 4. So it is decreasing every single year. You just have to look up and see how your program acts. Okay, so the next person is Nitzia Ruiz. I hope I didn't butcher that too much. It says, hey, your videos are super informative. Thank you. You mentioned you had to introduce yourself and remove all the metal from the patient. However, what about yourself? I just applied for my program, but I have never seen or heard anything about piercings. I have 14 and 2 are on my face. Will I be required to remove them for clinicals or once you're in the hospital? Thanks. Okay, so if you have any piercings, it depends on your clinical instructor. For us, we cannot have any visible piercings. So no nose, lip, ears, nothing, eyebrows, nothing that was visible to the face. If you had body jewelry, that's fine because no one can see it. As far as the patient goes, you want to remove the patient's jewelry and stuff because when you take an x-ray, it actually shows up. So say that you have like a tumor behind the belly button and it's obstructed by your belly button piercing. It's possible. So they just want to make sure that all jewelry is removed, especially if you have like A lot of things show up. Definitely the navel piercing is one that shows up a lot. They make you take off your bra because your bra, like the clips, and if you have underwire, that shows up and obstructs everything in your chest cavity. So if you have bronchitis, pneumonia, that can be blocked by your bra. So it's pretty important to take off those things. But other than that, you should be totally fine. And you asked me, what do I introduce myself? I just say, hi, my name's Erica. I'm gonna be doing your x-ray today. Can you give me your full name and your date of birth? You know what I mean? Like, that's it. I don't really introduce myself. I don't tell them where I'm from or anything like that. Just my name, and then ask them for their name and all their information. Do you have any problems with your chest, heart, or lungs? Do you have any surgeries? Stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm going to answer all of Queen Kesley's questions because you guys know she had a lot of questions for me. So the first one is, how do you feel you're doing in your classes? I feel that I'm doing pretty well in my classes, but I'm not going to lie to you, I have a one-track mind. So when I decided that I wanted to become a doctor, I wanted to further my career, I kind of forgot about ultrasound, forgot about x-ray, and like towards that goal. So sometimes I love to scan and I love being in the hospital, but sometimes it's hard for me to focus on my work because I have a one-track mind and it's like I have a goal that I want to get to, so I kind of leave everything behind. So I'm kind of treading along. But I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm just not as focused as I was when ultrasound was like my only goal in life. So that pretty much answers that. Which classes are you best in right now, and which classes are you struggling with the most? So as far as, I'm going to mix up my ultrasound and my bachelor's program together. As far as struggling with the most is, I have a research and writing course, and just writing research papers is just like, ugh, I can't stand it because there's no emotion in a research paper. It's all about a bunch of citations and a bunch of quotes and trying to like turn that into a paper. So research is totally not my thing right now. What class am I doing the best in? I'm actually pretty good at OB, and I think it just comes naturally to me that I see the different anomalies in OB imaging. So I think OB comes pretty naturally to me. What GPA do you have to have in your classes? You just have to have a C to pass ultrasound, and I think a C to pass my bachelor's, but of course I'm aiming for higher than that, but just at 2.0, but a 3.0 before you get into the programs, but once you get into the programs, then it's a 2.0 to pass. Okay, how do teachers in your program view W's? I guess you're saying like withdrawals. I've never withdrawn from a course before. I've failed one in my entire life, but I've never withdrawn before, so I wouldn't know how they feel about it. But I think they'd rather you withdraw than to fail, so I don't think that's going to be a big problem. Okay, she said, you may have already mentioned this, but I can't remember. Do you plan to get your bachelor's in sonography? I'm getting my bachelor's in radiation science because I can do it simultaneously with my ultrasound. That way I could get started before I completed ultrasound. Because if I did it the other way around, I couldn't start my bachelor's until like the summertime. But I started it last August, so it's really nice. Okay, have you decided what you would like to specialize in yet? I'm still majoring in general and considering getting registered in pediatric. I actually wasn't aware that there was a separate for pediatric, but I'm actually pretty interested in OB and I'm pretty good at it, so I think OB. What do you do to deal with the stress that comes from school? I started dancing at a ballet company once a week just so I could deal. That is awesome. I used to love to dance. I was in ballet, but I was more into like gymnastics. I was a gymnast, I was a cheerleader. I loved to tumble. That was like my thing. But now that I'm older, I'm actually, YouTube is like my way to relax and unwind, and I give advice and I receive it, and it just kind of calms my mind down, gives me purpose. So YouTube is kind of like my thing, and of course playing with my son and being with my family gives me that time to unwind and relax. So this summer I'm taking medical terminology, the class I withdrew from, and my humanities art class. If you've ever taken this class or anyone else, what's it like? Cultural connections. Okay, so I'm not really familiar with cultural connections, but I'm guessing you're telling me it's a humanities class. I'm not for sure. Ooh, I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry. I've never heard of cultural connections. I'm guessing it might just be a book about different cultures. I've had a cultural diversity type of thing before, but not cultural connections. The only thing I can think of is that it's possibly kind of touching base on different cultures and just their ethics and stuff like that, possibly. When will you graduate from your ultrasound program? Doesn't have to be the exact date, just approximate. I'll graduate in June. Okay, Jordan Henderson says, why did you decide to not get a job as a rad tech? I just was not interested in radiologic technology whatsoever. I got into rad tech wanting to be an ultrasound tech, but our school didn't offer that, so I thought that would be a way to get me into the door to being an ultrasound tech. I just really wasn't into it because I don't want it to be like I'm just above rad tech or anything like that. That's not how I feel, but I do feel like it's a cut and dry profession. You get all of the body parts within the light. You can't mess up, and I like the challenge. I like to be able to mess up. So I really wasn't interested in it. I was ready to further my career, and yeah. Okay, Karen says, wow, my tuition is $30K a year. I'm trying really hard to afford it. That is a very high tuition. The tuition at my school is $13,000 for 1 year, and that's the end of the program. It's just a year long, and $7,500 of that is covered by my grant. Okay, and Chels, I guess, C-H-E-L-S, Chels, says, do you have to choose a specialty, or can you take the SPI for all 3 sections, vascular, abdominal, and OB? So the SPI is actually just the beginning, but it's your physics portion, and you have to take that no matter what. So you take your SPI exam first, and then you can go ahead and go back and specialize in each one. Just the con about everything is it's expensive. Each test is like $200, so you can be registered in all of these. You can do vascular, abdominal, OB. You can be registered in that. You can also be registered or get your certificate in nuchal fold, which is the folds in the back of the baby's head. You can do fetal echo, which is the baby's heart. There's a lot of different things that you can be registered in and get certificates or certifications for. But you start off with your SBI and then you branch off from there. So to answer your question, yes, you do have to choose a specialty. You can't just get the SBI and be done. You have to have OB or vascular or abdomen behind your name so you can work. But you can get all of them. You can get as many as you want. So Antania 24 says, is there a lot of chemistry? I haven't taken not one chemistry class yet. There's no chemistry in X-ray or ultrasound. Okay, you guys, so Antania 24 and Meg O and many other subscribers and people who have watched my videos have all wanted to know what ultrasound program I'm involved in, what's it called, where is it at, we want to know. So I've decided to tell you guys. I'm going to the school one last time to graduate, but I'm not giving you guys the date that I'm going to be there, so it doesn't really matter, and I'm probably never going back after. So I attend the Institute of Ultrasound Diagnostics in Spanish Fort, Alabama. I give you guys all the information to the school down below. To the most asked question on my page about ultrasound is, where do I go? So I go there. The tuition, like I said, is about $13,000. They give that grant option to pretty much any student. It's $7,500. The rest of it is paid over the course of the year in a payment plan. So yeah, you guys. Okay guys, so that is it. Those are all of my education Q&A questions. I hope you guys enjoyed the finale and you guys enjoyed this whole entire video. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe so we can hit 10,000. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Like, rate, comment, and don't forget to subscribe, guys. Bye.